Hello everyone, welcome to another video of mine. It's Kemal AA, and this is another Chelsea transfer news video for you guys, where I'll be speaking about all the latest news surrounding Chelsea, and I've got some exciting topics and talking point videos. T.Silva and how he settled into Chelsea, and the external factors regarding his wife, his diet, his belief, and how T.Silva's had a massive impact on Chelsea and why he is the best centre-back in the Premier League. I'll also be discussing our essentially other news as well regarding Bakayoko and how he's about to seal a permanent move to Napoli for 16 million euros. And finally, I'll also be talking about the injury concern for Benjamin Chilwell and how that could also affect him for our upcoming fixture on the weekend in the Premier League. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let's get straight into today's Chelsea transfer review for you guys. Now, starting off with the unfortunate news, and that is Ben Chilwell. Now, last night, England took on Belgium in the UEFA Nations League. It's part of the international break, and it just really emphasises, reinforces the point of I really despise international breaks. I seriously do. It does my head in. It does my head in. I don't understand why. We're in a coronavirus pandemic, and, repeatedly, players are travelling constantly, players are getting injured, and it's really unfortunate. And why are we having international breaks in a pandemic? It just makes zero logical sense to me. It makes no sense. We've got the Euros next summer. Why have you got the Nations League playing? Just let the players play for their clubs. But essentially, the bad news is Benjamin Chilwell, he injured his back yesterday. He had to come off, actually. Hopefully it's only a precaution, but there are some injury concerns and fears. Injury concern for Chelsea as the curse of the international strike strikes again. Benjamin Chilwell, who limped off for England against Belgium last night. Chilwell has been on some really good form for Chelsea since arriving from Leicester City this summer, and although it initially did not look like a bad of an injury, it's always going to be a concern until we get the full diagnosis. Now, as I record this video, we haven't got a full diagnosis, so we don't know the length of the time he's going to be injured. We don't know if he was taken off for precautionary reasons, but we do know is he was taken off, so it was serious enough for the fact that he was taken off. And back injuries, you have to be careful. You have to be very careful. This isn't, a muscular injury. This is something in your back. If your back is not 100%, in place regarding structure, and it's not 100%, you could do further damage. And that is the last thing you will do, because then you need surgery and operation, and it can ruin a player's career. So we need to be really careful for this. And the fact that we haven't got a diagnosis yet and he hasn't any scans is really worrying. I really doubt that he is going to be able to play this weekend, which is so irritating considering we're playing international games in a pandemic. Now, Chelsea, as I said, experiences some really good momentum with this group of players right now, so we really don't want to unsettle that flow. Marcus Alonso and Emerson Palmieri are, of course, waiting in the wings if needs be, but hopefully nothing is serious with Chilwell. Now, of course, we do have backup options. Our squad is filled with players. We have a lot of depth, but, we've got Emerson, we've got Alonso, we've got Azpilicueta who can play left back. But for me, Chilwell was arguably our signing of the summer. He's been on some superb form, arguably the best step back in Europe so far this season. And it'd be such a shame if he can't play this weekend. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not too serious. But honestly, man, it's just so frustrating. It's honestly really frustrating. Hopefully, nothing is serious, and he'll get back to training as soon as possible. Now, moving on to a next piece of news, and that is regarding transfers. Now, it looks like Bakayoko will be sealing a permanent move away from Chelsea to Napoli. Chelsea are bracing to take a big loss on the midfielder sale to the Serie A team, Napoli. It all looked a bit of a disaster summer for Bakayoko after a move back to AC Milan fell through, but it seems like it's all working out for the best. Napoli ended up swooping at the last minute to bring the midfielder in on loan. It was a move that looked like it made sense right away. Bakayoko had been playing for some Napoli boss General Gattuso when he was at AC Milan for the first time, and they both knew what they were getting. Today, the report, Gazzetta dello Sport, was reporting that the Napoleons are keen to turn that loan into a permanent deal. Although Chelsea will have to swallow a loss on the whole operation, Napoli are intending to offer 18 million euros for the midfielder, a big drop on the 40 million euros valuation Chelsea paid back in 2017. However, there are some other aspects to consider, not least the 10 million euros or so the Blues will have recouped in 3 years of loan fees for the box-to-box Frenchman. So as the report is stating, in loan fees, he was loaned back to Monaco. He's been loaned to Monaco, to AC Milan and Napoli, and that does recoup around 10 million euros in loan fees. So when you consider the valuation of 80 million euros, you add the 10 million euros, we will be completely, the whole compensation for him will reach around 28 to 30 million euros. Now, that is a 10 million euro loss, which isn't that bad considering, how diabolical Bakayoko was at Chelsea. He's been up there as one of our worst signings, and the fact that Mourinho's recouped about 75% of his valuation that we paid for is quite, once again, really impressive business, and we have to hail and salute the Queen, Marina Sky. I think she's done fantastically well. And of course, he's not a bad player. He's still a good player. You know, he's got some nice attributes. He's a skillful player. He's still relatively young, so his valuation will remain high. And despite the pandemic still continuing, Napoli is still interested in signing on a permanent deal. He's had a fantastic start of the season with Napoli. And I don't see him, you know, having a future at Chelsea in the future. So I think it's best for all parties if he leaves Chelsea for his football, for his future, and Chelsea get, you know, recoup the finances back for him. So it's really good news for all parties, really good news for us because it adds money to our budget that we can spend next summer or in January transfer window if, of course, we have eyes on a certain midfielder, cough cough, Declan Rice. Of course, Lampard's first choice target, but it's like I said, it's all good news for Chelsea. You know, Napoli are getting a really good player for a cheaper price, especially in the pandemic. And I think that it's really good news. Yes, we are losing around 10 million euros, so it is a bit of an L. But considering what's happened in the situation and the scenario, I think that it's still good news. And I think that, yes, it's good that Bakayoko will be getting a permanent move away from Chelsea. Now, getting into the final report, and that is Thiago Silva. Now, it's not really news, it's more of a talking point, and it's good to be honest. Now, regarding Thiago Silva, it's more of a report than Nizar Kinsella made. Nizar Kinsella, a Chelsea journalist who has connections within Chelsea, and essentially how Thiago Silva came about signing for Chelsea, why he's been so good this season, you know, regarding external factors, whether that's his wife helping him, his diet, his training regime, etc. Now, Silva backed himself to perform, and importantly, so did Frank Lampard, who bided his time before deciding to sign the experienced defender. Chelsea transfer ban gave them a long time to think about how to spend £220 million during the off-season, with Timo Werner, Ben Chilwell, Kai Havertz and Eduard Mendy having appeared on the club's transfer shortlist for quite a while. Silva was more of a left-field option. He was offered to the Blues ahead of the Champions League final and signed just after. Lampard wanted his club to be decisive amid interest from Italy. Syria could have been a safer option. He can speak the language, having excelled in his time for AC Milan before moving to Paris. But after the belated offer from PSG was rebuffed, Chelsea was accepted. Lampard's side conceded 54 league goals last season, the worst total since Roman Abramovich bought the club in 2003, and as such have pinned a lot of their hopes on the Brazilian international churning around their defensive form, and so far, as we know, have kept 5 clean sheets in the past 7 games in all competitions. Silva has been involved in 6 of the club's 7 clean sheets this season, a run that has been Chelsea shoot up the table, sitting just 3 points behind leaders Leicester City. The settled backline of Mendy, Reece James, Silva, Kurt Zim and Chilwell has secured a previous weakness, and the pace at which Silva has adapted has astonished some around the club. Like I said, the veteran has taken an all-in approach on the move and has settled with his family in a mansion close to Cobham Training Centre. That building houses recovery facilities for extra work, so it helps him, especially with his age and recovery. What's already proven to be a busy season for club and country, playing every 3 days. At times, Lampard has proven willing to pull Silva out for a rest, as he did ahead of the Krasnodar away in the Champions League. And the Blues use a high-tech app to monitor the fitness of players behind the scenes. Part of his recovery from matches is based on diet and sleep, while a long-standing commitment not to smoke or drink only helps him defy his age, which for me is really impressive. Thiago Silva, 36 years of age, but he plays like he's in his prime. That has a lot to do with his diet. He's very, very healthy. He doesn't drink any alcohol, which is a massive, massive boost. So he's very family orientated. He doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't consume anything. He consumes healthy foods. You know, his fitness training, he trains hard. So another reason why he's still playing at the top level. Now, his wife conducted an interview as well. His wife, Isabella Silva, she conducted an interview on why Thiago Silva is able and to maintain this high level of fitness at such an age. And she was saying that he puts a lot of emphasis on diet and exercise. He's very professional. Whenever he wants to achieve a goal, she says she does what he can to support him and try to eat natural like him. And she basically stated that he doesn't consume any drinks, any soda drinks or any fizzy drinks, which is again another massive bonus. He said his wife continues to say, "We do the exercises together at home. He helps me too. It's nothing extraordinary. It's just simple things. He exercises a lot with the club. He only does light exercise when he's at home." His wife manages a team of staff to help him off the field, with a personal physiotherapist and performance advisor from London added on the advice of fellow Brazilians Emerson Palmieri and David Luiz. "I have a personal 2 years or so and has managed to change my eating routine a little." So yeah, like I said, his wife has a lot to do with that, and it's really, really impressive. Now, yeah, like I said, and hopefully long may it continue. Long may it continue for Thiago Silva. Now, I'm going to be wrapping up the Chelsea transfer news video for you guys. If you did enjoy this video, do smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.